Did you know that there are people who can control what they dream while they sleep? That is what's called lucid dreaming. But what would happen if someone could enter your dreams and change what you think? There is a movie that explores exactly that idea, Inception, directed by this genius, Christopher Nolan. Dom Cobb is a skilled thief specialized in extracting valuable secrets from people's minds while they sleep, by mixing worlds created by him and his team with the sleeper's subconscious. His latest job is not to steal an idea but to plant one in the brain of Robert Fisher, heir to a financial empire, so that he breaks it up and it doesn't become a monopoly. After securing the services of Eames, a forger who can change his appearance, and Yusuf, a sedative chemist, he recruits Ariadne as an architect, suggested by Miles, his father-in-law, who first introduced him to the world of extractors. Ariadne tries to see what is in Cobb's mind by entering his dream and discovering that he lives out his best memories with his late wife. Upon the death of Fisher's father, they share his flight from Sydney to Los Angeles, sedating him so they can work on his mind during the journey. They enter Yusuf's dream, which takes place in the city. There they kidnap Fisher, but are attacked by armed men, Fisher's own defenses, highly trained to resist extractor attacks, and Saito is wounded. Which means if he dies, he won't wake up and will remain trapped indefinitely in limbo because he's heavily sedated. Eames, transformed into Peter Browning, Fisher's godfather and his father's confidant, will begin the approach to plant the desired idea in his head. Cobb tells Ariadne that he and Mal built their own world, where they spent many years, until he planted the idea that it wasn't real life, forcing her to return, though she kept thinking she lived in a dream and decided to commit suicide, writing a letter accusing him of her death to force her husband to follow her. He therefore had to flee from his country's justice system and abandon his children. Saito promises to get the charges dropped. They then move to a second dream level, Arthur's, while Yusuf stays in the previous one driving the van where everyone is sleeping. They go to a hotel where Cobb offers himself as an extractor to help him enter Browning's mind. They will enter his dream, actually Eames's, on a third level, a fortress high in the snowy mountains, with Arthur staying in the previous one to wake them up. But there, Fisher is killed by Mal, falling deep into the subconscious limbo. So while Eames and the dying Saito stay in the snowy fortress, Ariadne and Cobb follow Fisher to the fourth level. In this world, created long ago by Cobb and Mal, they find her. She tries to convince Cobb to stay with her forever, even attempting to kill him, forcing Ariadne to finish her off. Time is running out, and Ariadne must return with Fisher to complete the mission, while Cobb stays behind to rescue Saito, who is in limbo after dying. Back to Fisher, he manages to enter the fortress, where he finds his father and realizes his father's wish was for him to be independent and create his own company. They must wake up from the successive dreams, synchronizing the kicks, explosives in the fortress, the blowing up of an elevator in the hotel, and the immersion of the van. Finally, Cobb manages to find the elderly Saito, whom he convinces to commit suicide, thus returning with everyone to the plane that arrives in the United States, where he no longer has entry problems, thus being able to reunite with his children. Inception is not just a movie about dreams, it is an exploration of the nature of reality, guilt, time, and the power of ideas. Through its protagonist Cobb, Nolan builds a story where dreams function as layers of the human mind. Each level represents a deeper emotional or psychological state, and the journey is not just to plant an idea, but to confront trauma, regret, and the desire for redemption. The external mission of implanting an idea in another man is just a narrative excuse. The true goal is for Cobb to free himself from the guilt over his wife's death. The central message revolves around a disturbing question: what defines reality? Nolan suggests that what we feel as real does not always depend on what is objectively true, but on what we choose to believe. The famous final scene of The Top does not seek to resolve whether Cobb is dreaming or not, but to show that he has decided to stop questioning it. For him, being with his children, whether in a dream or not, is enough. Furthermore, the film makes it clear that an idea, once implanted, can grow and define who we are. Nolan highlights the power of beliefs and how they can build or destroy a person from within.